Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to LEGO Batman 2 DC Superheroes. Last episode was super short, so I am not really even in a rush to continue the story, but we'll do it. Super short last level. Went barely 10 minutes. We have Lex and the Joker bot crashed in Gotham. And Superman's been exposed to kryptonite, so he can't fly. So we have to get there somehow. And while we could walk, let's see. So Superman
Excuse me, sir.
is weakened by kryptonite and cannot fly. So there's cars here that are up on blocks because somebody stole their wheels.
Remote towing active.
It's just calling a vehicle. Well, we activated this for the Penguin submission. That's free play mode stuff though, so I'm not going to particularly worry about that. Instead I'm going to hit
What can
B,
I do for you, sir?
and I'm just going to come over to vehicles. And since the Batmobile and the Batbike have been deconstructed, we'll take Robin's motorbike. The colors almost match. So I imagine the game wanted me to walk this whole direction, but then it did put that convenient call-in point if I simply understood that my goal was to call in a new vehicle. Oh, geez, how am I gonna unlock that gate? Okay, that's how I unlock the gate. So, if we look at the map here, where we are is this middle section of Gotham. Over here is the Batcave. We mostly started the first couple of levels over here. Then Ace Chemicals brought us over here. And then now we're going to the third bottom part of Gotham, or this version of Gotham, which is actually a rather small map with not as much in it as if they had made the Marvel games and then the Batman games. This Gotham would be a lot bigger and have a lot more into it. I'm not sure what LEGO Batman 3 is after all said and done though, because of that giant clock here. It's just a giant like fan holding up a building. I believe this building here, if we, where are we? Camera changed angles. I believe if we run this way, you can see that that's Wayne Enterprises, yeah. So that's Wayne's building, and it's being held up by 4 Lego pieces. Lego minifigs. Ah, it says Wayne Tower when I drive by it anyways, okay. Here's a gold brick that we would need the invisibility suit to get. And I think when we're in free play mode, we'll probably be able to reach a lot of those things a lot easier. Honestly, when we get in the free play mode, we'll have so many characters to play as too. Jeez. Apparently you cannot drive under Wayne Tower. There's no exit. Somebody put some effort into this design of this entrance. Alright, so let's go around Wayne Tower and stay on the actual road then. Not that way. Yeah, with Lego Batman 3, there must be an open world. There must be a Gotham. It almost certainly is going to be at least exactly the same as this, or bigger and better. And I could see them not really wanting to redesign all of Gotham City. Go this way, apparently, according to the Ghost Studs. Maybe they give us also Metropolis and some other areas. There are a lot of areas in the DC universe that really wouldn't be that interesting. Since Atlantis is never, of Aquaman, is never really that interesting. I don't think they'd ever cover that. Wonder Woman's area is not that interesting.
Arkham's most dangerous inmates may have taken residence in our cherished landmarks, but it's business
they
as
could
usual
include the
for
Flash,
citizens, demonstrating the resilience and can-do attitude,
that,
which
or
has seen
Green
Gotham
Arrow.
City safely through similar
But neither
crises
one
in
of
the
their
past.
cities are
The
really that
leaders
interesting
have
either.
abandoned their cars and headed for the metro system, a reliable refuge from the... What? Oh. I'm sorry, we're just getting news of a big explosion at the Midtown Metro Station. Citizens are advised to make alternative travel arrangements.
So the metro stations, I think, are fast travel areas even, which you don't even really need in this game. You get smashed down into the metro station. So what could have happened is last episode, the last level, which was only 10 minutes, could have ended with us crash landing, both the giant robot and this, and we could be in this section, and then by the time we get out of this section, if they made this metro section, we would be able to, then you would have had a decent length of a level. But instead, I think this level is going to turn out to be longer than it may have needed to be filled out. So this is kind of a boss fight. It's kind of funny too that the Lego, there are so many Lego minifigs in Gotham, and then in New York for the Lego Marvel game, the only minifig that's a giant statue is the Statue of Liberty. But they use it very well. I think Gotham probably can get away with having a bunch of giant statue minifigs more than New York or any other Marvel things. In the Marvel universe, there's only a couple of cities that are fictional cities. Everything else that happens in New York. Spider-Man, for example, in the Marvel universe is around New York. Daredevil and Jessica Jones are in New York. Luke Cage is in New York. I probably could go on and on. Neither one of them really focus too much away from the big name cities. small town place. Like Smallville, Kansas. I'm not sure there really is a Smallville, Kansas at all. And even if there is one, it's just where Superman is from. I'm trying to find where the electric suit here is. Just not seeing it. We've gone through this whole area and failed to find the electric suit. I mean, all the pieces are right there. But he still gets electrocuted. Do I have to come over here and pull this? I guess I do. Boy, was that not obvious. I ran all the way through the level 2 times looking for this suit. So if I'm weakened, can I still do this? Yes, I can. Take that. So the only thing that Superman's actually weakened on right now is the ability to fly. He can do everything else he could always do. More Lex bots with drill heads this time. Cool little mention there. Because we're underground, they drilled their way down. Not sure if that was really worth the effort to put a drill on top of them as far as animating that and programming that, but it's cool. Have a couple different kinds of goons for each major bad guy. Wow, he just stepped on that thing on the subway train. How many people just got crushed to death in that? I never know. Because this is a kid's game and they'll never mention it. I mean, it's a very valid argument to say Batman and Superman are too violent for kids, depending on the age of the kids. In a lot of ways, the big Marvel and DC comic book series are still very focused around violence. They're 16 pages or so a month of story really doesn't leave any opportunity to tell a more intricate or complicated story. They certainly try, but at the end of the day, there still is a lot of punching people, whether it's cartoonish violence or realistic violence. It's always a question, but either way, it's still pretty much violent. In comic books, unlike video games, you just don't see a comic book come out that's a puzzle game. You don't see a comic book come out that's a deeply emotional story game, like Gone Home. You could do something like Gone Home in a comic book, sure, but it wouldn't be as effective, and it's just not something that gets made. You wouldn't see anything like The Witness or Hexel, all games I've recently reported and will be released, or in the witness's case, it has already been released. You'll see things like Sam and Max, although Sam and Max comic books probably do exist. Almost certainly do. You won't see things like Deponia, which is a point-click romance adventure. I mean, I can pretty much list every game I've covered recently, and there's some element to those video games that don't even get attempted to be touched upon in your standard Marvel DC comic books. They are so short on time as it is to fill it with action and some small amount of story in that 16 pages or so a month that you just don't get any new ideas or new concepts or new plays on things. And that's not even really a huge criticism of Marvel and DC, because even independent comic books that I've seen don't get too far from the standard method. Apparently there was nobody in this train, is what they're telling me, because I'm not seeing any Lego minifig body parts lying around. This is a really cool concept of taking a train and just deconstructing it and breaking it. It's definitely a new spin on the Lego concept for a Lego game. We haven't really seen it implemented that way. I would be alright with seeing more of this, just like things falling apart and you can clearly see how they would be put together and go back together. But I have said before, a lot of the Lego games get pretty far away from actually playing with Legos. Things look like they're made out of Legos, but in actuality you couldn't build anything in the shape or the fashion that we see them here. Doesn't blow these things up twice? That's weird. What's it gonna do? Gotta build me a new Batman suit. What Batman suit will it be this time? Glide suit. Yeah, the bat suit. A good example of what comic books could do and haven't done in, to this point, is I covered a game called Her Story that was barely even a video game. It could have easily been made into some series of comic books because of the way its story was going about. You could still almost use the exact same concept that existed in the game. Am I just gonna break all that? Yeah, I am. That's interesting. That looked like there was some complicated puzzle there, and it wasn't. It was just break it with the sonic thing. Am I supposed to freeze these, or? It feels like I'm supposed to freeze, but it's not working. But yeah. Here's a poison ivy transition point. These basically become Sandman and Venom transition points in the Marvel game. What am I trying to do here? all of a sudden it works. I tried that 2 times and it didn't work. So there's been about 4 different instances where things I thought I've needed to do haven't worked. I've had to try them again or given up and ran around looking for something else to do. I mean, even here, I'm having trouble. This is clearly what it wants me to do. Alright. Break that. Now I can use my laser heat beam on this. Come on, break. That's taking way too long. Usually here you would hold B and actually be able to move it back and forth yourself, but instead of that it's got me just tapping B to cause that to happen? How was I supposed to know that was gonna happen? That's just totally random. Total random. We're 21 minutes into this level, so if this level was going to be the second half of the other level, the level before this, which was only 10 minutes long, they really would have had to wrap it up right about now. We'll see how much longer it goes by itself. Still trying to fly and falling on my face. Yeah, you just walk to another section here. So I want to get up over there, which means I need Superman's ice breath here. And then climb up here. There we go. That goes down. We got some Joker henchmen coming back into the picture. Aw, missed. Try that again. Up here. Would have been really nice if there was like an elevator or something you could put down right here, so you don't end up having to work your way back to that jump. See, that's exactly what I didn't want to have happen, is having to come over here and make 2 glides at the same time. I mean, this is how you frustrate kids, is you make it so that they have to do the same thing several times. Apparently, we need Superman for an X-ray puzzle here. But we just turning off all the electricity. I guess we are. Didn't even know what I was doing, just hitting X. That happens too much in this game, far too much. Will these freeze? I don't think they will. Don't have the little Lego bricks of water in them. So this is just gonna open a doorway. Do we just run? We get pulled up here. This would have been a prime time to hit the level. Tap B here. Gotta free ourselves from that iron grip. So, yeah, that right there could have been a cutscene. You could have ended the level right there. But it would the fight that we did at the beginning with the flying Joker robot would have been fine. And that would have been 35 minutes. But now we're doing another boss fight, it seems. It wouldn't even have been that bad if they included both boss fights and just made this a really long level. Because you would have been fighting the boss once, then at the beginning of the level, fighting the boss at the beginning. I guess at the end of the day, all this really is just a complaint about how they broke up the game into different levels and a balancing issue. It's not really a huge issue if you play the game like most people are going to play it, which is almost completely in one run. Very few people are going to take significant breaks between one playthrough and another. You may play one day, take a break for a while, and then play again the next day. Or you may even play a little bit on the weekend. Get it done over the course of a month. I think we have to do something with this eventually. What am I trying to do? Am I trying to laser beam like this gold stuff? I guess I am. Trying to break his hand, I guess. He's doing his little electric attack over there, but it's so... you'd have to be standing right under it so you can get attacked by that. I'll just stand back here and hit it with my laser beam, which gives me a better angle. Get the little trail of Lego studs. So that tells us it wants us to go this way. And we go here. And it's been 30 minutes for this level, and it's checkpointing. You could have easily broken this level up at just this point. Well, it is a valid criticism, even though I'm saying the same thing. Because they keep doing the same thing wrong, I feel. If a movie makes you sit through all of like 3 hours without an intermission, and then that same movie gave you an intermission at an hour and 30 minutes, you would definitely have a different experience, and there would be a valid criticism to make to say that the cut with the intermission is way better than the cut without the intermission. Unless they put the intermission right in the middle of a conversation and it ruins the flow of the storytelling. And I wouldn't say ruin, but it does definitely affect the flow of the storytelling, the way they've broken up these levels. Get all those fires out. This is a pretty cool sequence. We don't get to see Lego trains in Lego video games very often. Build this. Time for Batman to get the electricity suit. He's used every suit, I believe. And I don't think we're gonna get any more suits. it's pretty much, it's a lot more manageable this way than it was in the first game. The first game had like 2 or 3 suits that seemed repetitive and unnecessary. For example, the Lego pieces suit for Robin was totally unnecessary and repetitive, and that's totally gone, it seems like. Are we speeding up the train now? A train or subway? I think it's a train. So it's underground, so it would be a subway. Yeah, I guess.
Sorry.
So that last section wasn't that long, actually. It's only a couple minutes more. So in total, that was 31 minutes. But they could have taken 10 minutes of this level, put it in the level before, and had a 20-minute and a 20-minute level. It would have been so much better balanced. Hey, we are almost to 1 million studs. That's going to be nice. I don't know what we're really saving up for. I guess eventually we'll start playing in free play mode, I guess, and we'll try and purchase the coin doubler, the red brick power detector, and the mini kit detector, as we always do. Anywho, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.